there, today I will be sharing 6 new slow cooker recipes with you. The most amazing part about these recipes is they only have 3 ingredients in them besides seasonings, but these are some of the easiest slow cooker recipes that you can make. These recipes are easy to throw together, but yet they have such minimal ingredients and they're still bursting with flavor. They're not lacking in flavor in any way. Let's go get to my kitchen. I'm excited to show you. To kick us off today, we are making this slow cooker whole roasted chicken, and if you've never made something like this before in the slow cooker, you need to. We're starting on the seasoning rub. So to this little bowl, I added 1.5 tablespoons of brown sugar, tablespoon of paprika, 2.5 teaspoons of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, then add in a teaspoon of garlic powder, onion powder, and Italian seasoning. This seasoning rub is so good on chicken. It is so flavorsome and delicious. Give it a little stir and combine the seasonings all together. Now pull out your slow cooker. Spray your slow cooker with non-stick spray just for easy cleanup in the end. Now this next part is optional, but I am making an aluminum foil circle. So just grab your foil, make it into like a little circle like this and place it in the bottom of your slow cooker. This will kind of act as a rack so the chicken cooks evenly and it gets held up. But like I said, that's optional. Place your chicken into your slow cooker and remove the chicken giblets from inside the chicken. You could discard them or use them for a different recipe, but just sprinkle the seasonings all over the chicken, cook it on low for about 7 hours. You will have the most flavorsome, delicious, juicy chicken you will ever make. Whole roasted chicken like this is so affordable. Mine was under $2 a pound for this whole chicken, but the chicken is delicious. You could drizzle some of the juices from the slow cooker over the top of the chicken. We served ours with green beans and a baked potato on the side. I've kind of been in a baked potato kick recently. Now we're getting started on this creamy pesto chicken. So into this bowl, add in 1 cup of basil pesto. I'm just using the inexpensive stuff from Walmart, but you could use any brand. Next, add in 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. Make sure your cream cheese is softened. Stir these ingredients together super well until it kind of combines into one ingredient. But add your chicken into your slow cooker. Sprinkle your chicken with a dash of salt and pepper. Now you're going to spread that creamy pesto mixture all over the top of the chicken. You have to trust me, this is so good. Cook this on low for about 5 hours. Once your chicken's cooked through, just shred it up. You could serve this over rice, you could serve this in buns, you could serve your pesto chicken alone, or what I'm doing is I'm serving it with pasta. So to this pot of boiling water, I'm adding in my Dientellini pasta. I used about 1/2 pound of that. Just cook your pasta according to the package instructions, and once you do have your pasta cooked through, just stir in that creamy chicken pesto mixture. Stir it super well, and then you could serve it up. But like I said before, serve it over anything. You could serve it over mashed potatoes, veggies. This is just so good. I used to work at this little local restaurant and they had this pesto chicken sandwich, and this totally reminds me of it. So if you're a pesto fan, you will absolutely love this like me. I just served this with a side salad with butter lettuce. I've been liking butter lettuce, a little bit of tomato, croutons, and Chick-fil-A ranch dressing for the ranch. Now we're getting started on these French dip roast sandwiches, and holy moly, talk about a treat. These are so good. Add your chuck roast right into your slow cooker. Next, add a sliced yellow onion over the top if you want to use the onion. Next, add a packet of au jus over the top of the onion. Then you're going to pour 1/2 cup of beef broth over that. Cook this on low for 8 hours. It can't get any easier than that. Now I'm going to prepare the bread. I'm just using Jimmy John's day-old bread. They're 54 cents a loaf at my store, and it's just so affordable just getting them like this compared to like buying bread at the grocery store, and this is just super duper good. So it's kind of a treat when I do this, but it's good and I do recommend it. It is super duper affordable, like I said. Now I'm placing slices of provolone cheese on the bread. You could use any cheese you'd like if you don't care for provolone. After you add the provolone, just add some of the shredded meat over the top of the cheese, then broil this in your oven for about 2 minutes or until it is just golden brown and beautiful. When I say these French dip sandwiches are a treat, I am not joking. They are so delicious. If you don't want to use chuck roast, you could use different types of roasts. You could even use pork for the French dip. That would be delicious, but it is rich, yummy, and I served it with broccoli on the side. Now I'm getting started on the slow cooker pineapple glazed ham. I need to make ham in my slow cooker more often. Add your ham right into your slow cooker. You want to use between 2 to 5 pounds of ham, and you want it to be boneless ham. Just score the top of the ham. Most hams are already sliced, but scoring it just makes the ham a flavor explosion in the end. Now add about 10 ounces of crushed pineapple over the top. After you add the pineapple, add a half a cup of brown sugar, then a half a teaspoon of ground cloves. The ham is going to be just so juicy and flavorsome in the end. Put the lid on top and cook this on low for about 5 hours. Once the cooking time is up, you could serve it up. I don't know why I don't make ham in my slow cooker often. It is so affordable and so delicious. I really need to make it more often in my slow cooker like this. Also, if you're not the biggest pineapple fan in the world, don't worry, the pineapple flavor is not overpowering at all. It is very subtle. I did serve this with mashed potatoes and broccoli on the side. Now we're getting started on this honey mustard chicken, and despite the mistake that I made, this one turned out so good. Add your chicken into your slow cooker. Next, season it with a dash of salt and pepper. Now you want to add in either a half a cup of chicken broth or water. I totally forgot to add that in, and my chicken ended up being kind of dry in the end, but just make sure you add it in. Now that my chicken's finished cooking, I'm getting started on the honey mustard sauce. So into a bowl, add 1/4 cup of honey with 8 ounces of French's Dijon mustard. Whisk those two ingredients together super well. This honey mustard sauce is so good. But now that my chicken's finished cooking, as you see, it's a little bit dry. I can't believe I forgot to add that liquid in there. My fault. But just shred up your chicken, then add that honey mustard sauce right in there. Give it a super duper good stir, and you could serve this over rice. You could serve it over mashed potatoes. You could serve this honey mustard chicken alone. But what I'm doing is I'm serving it in buns with a little bit of Colby Jack cheese over the top. I just broiled this in my oven for a couple of minutes with the cheese on, and then I served it up. I do also want to let you know, if you serve this in King's Hawaiian rolls, that would be so delicious from the sweetness from those rolls, and you don't have to serve this with cheese on the top. I know not everybody's a big cheese fan like me, but after this is finished broiling in your oven, you could serve this up. The only things I would do differently next time is add the liquid into the slow cooker. Also, I would make extra of that honey mustard sauce to drizzle it over the top of like the cheese in the end, so it's extra saucy. But this turned out so good. If you're a honey mustard fan, you will love this. My husband absolutely thought they were amazing, and I really love them too. Now we're getting started on these Crockpot barbecue ribs, and whenever we have a family get together, I'm always asked to bring these just because they're that good. We're getting started on the seasoning rub first. So into a bowl, add in 3 tablespoons of paprika, add in your salt and pepper, then add in 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. This seasoning mixture is simple, but it is so delicious. Give it a really good stir. Now you're going to pull out your ribs, and then this is totally optional, but I do like doing this with ribs. I like to remove the membrane on the back of the ribs, and if you've never done it before, I'll show you how to do it now. Grab a butter knife, and all you have to do is put it under the membrane and pull it up just like this. This is going to make your ribs so much extra tender in the end. Your ribs won't be chewy. Sometimes, there is that like chewy membrane on ribs, but this really takes care of it. But this is also optional. If you don't want to do it, you definitely do not need to do it at all. I've done it both ways, and it turns out just fine. Now sprinkle that seasoning rub on both sides of the ribs and kind of rub it in just like this. Now you're going to brush 1 cup of barbecue sauce on both sides of the ribs as well. You could use any type or any brand of barbecue sauce you like. I'm just using like the cheap one from Walmart. This recipe is also in my cookbook. It's on page 141. It's in the slow cooker section. I have over 100 of our favorite recipes in this book. There's 8 different sections. There's also a colored photo for every single recipe in this book. If you don't have one yet, I do have some available. But after you are finished brushing the barbecue sauce on both sides of the ribs, you're going to place the ribs right into your slow cooker. You'll place them in your slow cooker standing upright with the meaty side against the inside wall of the slow cooker. It might seem a little odd, but just trust me. Pour 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar in your slow cooker and cook it on low for about 6 to 7 hours. Part partway through cooking, one of my little ones unplugged it for about 3 hours, but the ribs still turned out delicious in the end. Despite one of my little ones thinking she was so funny by pulling a prank on me and unplugging my slow cooker for hours, they still turned out super tender. I was a little worried they wouldn't be tender in the end, but they were super tender. Just pour some barbecue sauce on the top and the end, but they're absolutely delicious. You have to cook them standing upright like that. That makes them extra tender in my opinion. But we served them with mashed potatoes and some corn on the side. These are 10 out of 10. You need to try these ribs. I would really love to have you over here, so make sure you're subscribed and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.